What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a part 3 of the cancel culture live discussion that took place between, Monique Samuels, Funky Dineva, J.E. Henson, Monica from All About the Tea, Richie Sky, and Bondi Blue. So let's pick up, you guys, where we left off.
How crazy some of these people are, and I'm not going to lie to you, I did not realize until I started traveling and doing live shows. For sane people, this is entertainment. But there's a whole demo of people who this shit gets in their soul. Yeah. And they ride for whatever team they ride for. And it's like, team don't even know you, ma'am. Like,
Q, my comments today. Oh, you need to have this conversation with Funky Dineva. And I'm like, I tell him all the time, do not do that. At the end of the day, Q's opinion is Q's opinion, and I can disagree with that and have my opinion. You want his opinion, you go watch him. You want my opinion, you come watch me. But don't bring that shit to my comments like I'm supposed to be mad at him for his opinion. It ain't gonna happen like that. Just so y'all know, in case y'all thought we was gonna be on
too. Oh my God.
Or cancel by association. You Team Monique, you cancel too. I'm not reading your blog, I'm not clicking on you.
And that's why I always tell y'all, I may get on here and talk about people, but I don't really hate anybody. I may not like them, okay? They may not be my first choice, but I don't hate anybody. And as far as Funky Dineva and Bondi Blue having a difference of opinion on Basketball Wives, I feel like they kind of should have talked about it a little bit. Not for them to argue and banter back and forth. I totally understand where they both are coming from. Like, I'm not gonna hate him because we got a difference of opinion of how the show is going. But I felt like it would have kind of been interesting for him to say how he felt and for, her to state her opinion. Because I don't really watch her channel. I don't really know, how she feels about the whole OG situation, but it looks like, she's team OG, and we know that Funky isn't. But I will say this, I feel like Funky Dineva with Basketball Wives, and this is just my opinion, guys, I just feel like he plays both sides of the fence, because it kind of seemed like he understands what's going on with OG one minute, and the next minute he don't, and the next minute she's just ugly and unlikable, and she this, she that, and it's just like, just say your opinion and just let it be what it is, period, all the time, not this flip-flopping shit, because you trying to cater to certain subscribers, and you don't want to lose those subscribers, so,
You like Dineva? I don't like you no more. I got a problem with you.
And then you know what I hate too? When you, let's just say for instance, you like somebody who, whatever, now all of a sudden you automatically co-sign all of their negative behavior. Simply because I don't agree with OG on certain things. I'm now a colorist. I hate black women. I think Latina women are better than black women. And I'm like, Lord,
well, see, with the black women thing, Funky, a lot of people may feel like you hate black women because of some of the other things that you've said on your platform about black women. Okay, you like to mock and imitate black women without really knowing our struggle, and what we go through. And this isn't just because he's gay, you guys, because there's a lot of, different gay YouTubers on here, like Justin J. I think Justin J has an understanding more, in my opinion, than Funky Dineva of what black women go through. James Caldwell is another one where, I don't agree with everything that James says and does, but I do think he has some understanding, more than Funky Dineva. He understands what we go through as black women. I think that Funky Dineva, he just, I don't know, you guys. I feel like he'd be confused on certain black women issues and feels because he puts on a dress, a wig, and heels, and, oh, I'm in close proximity to imitating a black woman, so I know what they go through, and, no, you don't, I don't think he's all sensitive to black women issues,
Mercy Jesus, I just
how did they go there?
And I'm canceled, but my views still popping on my channel. Which one? Like, make it make sense.
And I see what he's saying, but see, that's the thing though. Your views and shit is popping now. What happens when people start unsubscribing? Do you see what I'm saying? You will begin to, I could see him changing his stance, because what a lot of YouTubers is not going to tell you is they don't want a whole boatload of you motherfuckers unsubscribing. They don't want that. That's bad for business. Why you think he hurried up and apologized right after the whole Blue Ivy incident? Because his ass was being dragged all on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. They was dragging that ass. So I'm pretty sure once them views go down, he will get that humility within himself, and he will walk the line of saying his opinion and watching what he says so he doesn't offend too many people. Because I've seen people like Funky Dineva, they have all these subscribers and views, and then people get sick of your ass after a while. They get sick of, your ignorant opinions about certain situations that you just don't seem all that educated on. You don't seem sensitive to. I'm not at all saying anybody should get on here and just watch every little thing that they say. No, state your opinion, but beware of your intentions behind your opinion. Give out a disclaimer, right?
People. Oh my God, hilarious! But all in all, though, I will say I like the world before social media, because we have got to find some sort of equilibrium. Because to Monica's earlier point and to yours, we've gotten to a place now where we've lost authenticity and genuine thoughts, emotions, and expressions of those thoughts and emotions out of fear.
Yes.
And
he is telling the truth on some of that, yeah.
And it also depends on what the movement is at the time. Because last year, I used to be able to say this word. This year, I can't say it. It just depends what group. And there's so many conditional rules and so many conditional temperaments that I always tell people, just do you, because I can't keep up with the ever-changing rules.
Right. Now, that was just a part of This Is Us. That's so funny that you say that. Later on in the episode, Randall and Beth, y'all know that's the black people on the show, so we always be like super clued in, and it was Felicia's child. Y'all know. Their part was her basically not being able to say there. She would keep saying she about her daughter's significant other. She was like, Mom, it's there, it's they. And she was just like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, so even in that conversation and how they want to cancel you if you don't pronoun exactly right. And sometimes I'm like, people in their minds, they always put you in one box or the other, whether you like it or not. So when they talk about you, that's what they think of in their head. It's not to degrade you or disrespect your identity, but people will take it that way. And I've had people tell me, I'm not going to follow you anymore, Bondi, because I was honest about the fact that shit is hard sometimes to commit to that mind frame when you're so used to the way things were before, where it's either one or the other.
Yeah, and you have to allow people to make mistakes.
Yeah.
To be able to show people grace when they don't get it right the first, second, or third time, because people have been
he is telling the truth on that.
Programmed to think this for all their lives. So stuff doesn't always change so easily. So we also got to have that spirit of forgiveness a little bit too,
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, you would think we all know what it takes to get quote unquote canceled. But I just feel like we know the steps that it takes to get canceled. But I just feel like, it's the work people, it's such an easy word to just latch onto. And I personally want to know your opinions. Do you think as long as social media is around, that cancel culture is going anywhere? Because I for sure don't see it going anywhere per se, but as long as social media is around, I don't see it.
No, I think people will always be fake outraged. And I also think it's something that was going on before social media, but social media brings it in such a concentrated way, where it's everybody from everywhere feeling this way and able to access this information, versus back in the day where it was like a town or a village or your neighborhood or whatever. So I think it will always happen in that vein, but I also feel like I'm grateful for the fact that people do forget about things, and eventually they cycle out, because sometimes people are wrong in their assertions, and they want, even us as YouTubers, I feel like they always want us to commit to whatever the wave is. And when
that is true. I can admit to that. Some of, what she's saying is true.
We don't commit to what the wave is, they're upset with us. And it's like, well, I'm always going to be my own person, have my own mind, regardless to what the wave is. So you either going to deal with it or not. You know
what I would like to see, though? I would have absolutely no problem whatsoever with cancel culture being around to the end of time if we also were able to foster some sort of reinstatement culture. Because those times when you get it right, when you get it wrong, and this person has now lost everything, we need to use that same energy to be able to big this person up and let these brands know this is the person you need to hire. We're going to come out, we're going to buy product or whatever the case may be, so these people can get their life back.
Yes, I agree with that.
But cancel somebody, they'll be found not guilty, and then a bitch won't even say sorry down to the Twitter.
Right, and it's like they still think of you in that same way, no matter what the truth is. What Charlamagne say, the lie is more entertaining. Yeah. So that's what they stick with.
Social media weaponizes people. It brings them together. They're no longer singular, sitting at home collecting a disability check. It galvanized a whole entire society.
Y'all hear that? She said people be sitting at home collecting. Not everybody. Some people, they're at home because they work from home, Of
those type of people to, attack. And like you said, Bondi, the fake outrage. It's the fake outrage for me.
Yes.
It's like, please.
But speaking of fake outrage, it'd be from fake pages too. Like, my thing is, if you don't have balls and something, you need to have.
He is speaking nothing but a word, honey, because I get a lot of hate from people. They don't have no YouTube channel or 0 subscribers. They don't even have their own picture up. They got a damn cat as the damn avatar, damn dog as the avatar, or one of their kids. So
for me, this is it for me. You need to have, I need to see your real life. Who are you to cancel me? That's how I feel about it, because I feel like I get that shit all the time.
Yeah, no, you're right, because if somebody makes some off-the-wall comment, sometimes I'll go right to about the reply, and I'm like, hold on, let me
go see what you look like first, right?
Zero posts.
Right.
Them be the people, that has the most to say. And like I said, it all plays into YouTube is easy and anybody could start a channel. If anybody could do it, everybody would be doing it and nobody would ever give up. So when you see somebody with a YouTube channel, no matter how many subscribers they got, now granted you got 0, or let's say you got a YouTuber, they got ads on their videos, which means that they have put in the work for their channel to be monetized. I told y'all in my other section of this, I get a lot of pushback about, oh, well, you don't have that many views. You don't have that many subscribers. Bitch, I got ads all on my videos, though. Even some of the videos I didn't get paid for before, I still, receive money from Google every month. And probably for a couple of months, I made more money, right? Check this out. Because I don't even have the viewership the way some of these people do. They get like 10,000, 5,000, even 1,000. But I don't even be having that many views on some of my videos. But I made more on YouTube than I did at both my jobs that I have. I sell books. Check out my books on Amazon, right? I get a notification that money will be deposited into my checking account every time I sell a book on Amazon. And shout out to the people that have been buying the books, because, you know, we've been getting some sales. Now, am I making a killing on my books on Amazon? No, I'm not. But it is my merchandise that I offer to my subscribers. That way they can get to know me a little bit more deeper and personally. And I've gotten some really good feedback on my books, you know, so y'all check that out as well.
Hey, I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna watch
and those are the people I think that have mental illness.
They do. They certainly do.
First of all, I'll probably stop being friends with you if I find out you got more than one Instagram page and it's not for a business. I had a homegirl one time, she was like, oh, this my real page and this my page I lurk with, huh? Am I just what? Bitch, ain't nobody fucking checking. You're not that important, man. You're just not.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
Not.
Like,
That
it's not
shit
that
is weird to me.
I could barely balance my 2 Instagram pages. Like,
Too much time on their hands.
Pages and you thinking as a like let me tell you something. If you are within earshot of my voice or within my eyesight, you are a lonely fuck. All right, and something is honestly wrong with you if you have multiple Instagram pages and you go around trolling people. God is not pleased. No one likes you.
Thank you. Hallelujah.
Man can't played the flute and had glasses and braces and scoliosis, and it's now shown in your adult life. No one likes you.
Scoliosis. Don't even.
Look here.
Scoliosis. Bitch, I was in a band. Okay, listen. Listen, I was in a drum section though. Okay.
You know, the band kids were always a little socially awkward. Like,
not here in New Orleans, because our bands, like, you know, our bands do shit. They run parade season and stuff. So, yeah, it's kind of a thing here.
It's different. Yeah,
I feel attacked. I have a little scoliosis too.
I'm a band girl. I play the alto saxophone and the flute, and I was
I always use the flute because it's just like the prime example of like the flute is like the lamest instrument in the band.
Child, now he dragging the people that played the flute. I used to play the violin. Can you believe that? What instrument did you guys play in school?
The flute too, but that was in music class, not in the band.
Right, in class. But you know, here's the interesting thing about the flute. It's one of the hardest instruments to play.
It is.
So I just think us that play the flute, we look.
That's why the nerds with the 4 eyes and the scoliosis play.
Don't. Now with your degree from Florida State University, calling nobody no damn
and if you ain't really got no musical talent, like if I was in the band, no shade, I would have to play the cymbals. That's all.
That's what I play. That's what I.
So a fan wrote at the bottom. She wrote cancel culture or consequence culture. Good question. And
I like that.
There's I think that's kind of what we touched on, not so succinctly. Yeah, our outrage with Bill Cosby, and I'm glad she said that, which brought me to this. What do y'all think about canceling somebody when the cancellation of them affects an ensemble of people? Case in point, Keisha Knight, William, and all those different people from Cosby Show. Let's not pretend like they've had a steady influx of work since that show. It is here, there. So they probably depend on those quarterly royalty checks.
I I doubt that. I feel like those people on the Cosby Show, especially Keisha Knight Pulliam, she's, bringing in her own money. What was she on Tyler Perry's show? I don't know if she's still on there. House of Pain. I know she was Calvin's wife. She did really good on there. She has like her own podcast. She's making money. I don't think any of them Cosby Show people, and this is coming from Felicia Rashad. I remember she did an interview some time ago, and she had said that they don't get that much in royalty checks like that. They may get a little something, but it ain't all like that. So he, Quentin, honey, Funky is misspeaking on that. You don't really get a lot, not with a show like, on, like the Cosby Show or whatever. Y'all get down in the comments and let me know how you feel about that.
For their well-being. When Cosby stuff did what it did, it not only affected him.
Oh, really quickly, didn't we see Elvin? This is what I'm talking about, right? This is what I'm talking about. Elvin, Guy Sandra's husband on the Cosby Show. Wasn't he working at Trader Joe's, and they was dragging him for that? But that's a grocery store. So if he was making so much money off of residuals from the Cosby Show, why was he working at Trader Joe's? You got to kind of look at stuff like that. So Funky is a bit off, when he talks about that.
It wiped out their incomes too. So
yeah.
I feel like we can separate it. To me, I can separate Bill Cosby from the Cosby Show.
I agree with what she's saying. I'm not going to stop watching the Cosby Show, and I introduced my daughter to it. I love what that show stood for. That show helped raise me while my single mom was out working 2 and 3 jobs to support us. We had a whole setup on Thursdays. Popcorn, watched the Cosby Show. Bill Cosby felt like a dad, at that particular time. I, didn't have a dad, in the household. So it was important for me to see that does exist. And that is important for other children to see that that's a life that they can have. It's simply an idea. We don't have to demonize Bill Cosby. Yes, he was wrong for drugging them women. Absolutely. I am completely against him, if he did that. But I also do not like how they brought this shit up, like, now that he's 80. Like, if you was gonna lock his ass up and throw away the key, you should have been did that years ago. So to me, how they went about going after him is suspect. And I know I'll receive a lot of pushback because women will say, well, you should defend those women, and I can defend those women. I'm not at all saying that he should have put any pills or anything in anybody's drink. I'm not at all saying that, but you have to admit how they went after him and when they chose to go after him. And then a lot of them settled out of court earlier, some time ago, like years ago. You can't be getting money from him and then come back later and say he did this. Like, I'm not with that shit. If you were raped, if you were put in a compromising position by this man, I don't give a damn who he is. You need to speak on it after it happens, because after the fact, it begins to look as if you got some type of malicious intent. You trying to get revenge or this, that, and the third for all the wrong reasons. Like, if you are genuine with your claims, and that goes for any of you ladies out here that feel like you've been raped, disrespected, report that shit when it happens, because after a while, you begin to lose credibility. People are like, okay, like, people don't know if, were you really raped, or did it really happen, or did, cause hell, you didn't report it. Okay, like, shit, I done had my car stolen. You think I waited 5 years later to report that shit or to talk about it? No, I called the cops. Okay, you call the cops. I don't want to hear about this shit about, oh, I was afraid. Oh, it's Bill Cosby. Oh, it's T.I. Oh, it's this person. You need to report things when they happen. When you don't, you look guilty. It looks something faulty comes about, when people hear all of a sudden what you went through years ago. And a lot of people say, well, that person wasn't strong enough in that moment. And I call bullshit. And look at that shit with Emmett Till. That's what really pissed me off. That shit with Emmett Till. We all know how that boy was beat to death. His mother had an open casket for his funeral so everybody could see how badly them white men murdered him. Okay, but they let that bitch off, right? That white lady, they let her ass off years later, even though she said, oh, well, he didn't really do anything to me. And, the whole thing is about him whistling, at a white lady. She denied everything. Oh, he didn't really do anything and he didn't deserve that. All of it is because of you, bitch. Then you go home and tell your husband, he was trying to holler at you. So it's shit like that I can't get over. But moving along, honey.
Right.
I feel like, especially when it comes to artists, because I tell people all the time, I still listen to R. Kelly when I feel like it.
I do too. I know y'all gonna be like, no, you gotta cancel. Listen, I am not for him pissing on them girls. I am not for it. And I'm not gonna lie, after that R. Kelly documentary, I'm not gonna lie, I did stop listening to him. But there are certain songs, from him that I do listen when I'm, about to have sex, with my man, honey. Okay. I enjoy some of his music. I don't at all promote what he did, but I already have the CDs. I already, I'm listening to the music. That's the same thing with Michael Jackson when everybody was saying he was out here raping children. Did everybody burn their Michael Jackson CDs? Hell no, y'all was still listening to Michael Jackson, okay? But yeah, with that R. Kelly situation, honey, it was kind of hard to start back listening to him, especially after that Surviving R. Kelly documentary. I ain't gonna lie, I did kind of stop for like over a year. I did. And then I was like, you know what? I do enjoy certain songs, so I'm gonna just live my life. I'm not promoting his music, but if I want to listen to it, in my free time or I'm doing something with my man, then it is what it is.
I was just about to ask you that.
The music is applied to my memories.
Yeah.
The moments in my life.
Right.
And there are certain songs that I am not willing to give up because now we have a different understanding than we did when I fell in love with the song 20 years ago.
I agree with Bondi on that. I have to agree.
So for me, I just kind of feel like he should go to jail.
Yeah,
but if people want to listen to the music or people want to watch the Cosby Show, they should be able to do that. And all the other people involved should be able to collect their check. I mean, if you in jail, you in jail.
Right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
Think about it like this. All the movies and everything that Harvey Weinstein had a part of, are y'all people gonna stop watching those movies at them?
That's a good ass point. And I noticed that in the black community, people are very big on black people being canceled, like R. Kelly, like Michael Jackson, like T.I., like Mike Tyson, and all these other people. But these white people, like I said with the Emmett Till situation, did nobody cancel that lady? That lady didn't go to jail. They didn't contact that bitch when she was in her 80s and said, oh, you flip-flopped on what you originally said. We gonna lock your ass up. We gonna put you through the ringer. No one did anything. White people, okay, I hate to say it, but we all know what's true and what's not true. They get away with a lot of shit. Okay, and a lot of black people, a lot of y'all play into that shit. And I'm not with it. I am not with it. Not with it.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
And they're not going to stop playing them either.
And I had somebody come at me. Why you playing T.I.? T.I. is one of my favorite rappers of all time. Tupac is number one, but T.I. has to be like number two. I used to play so much motherfucking T.I. You think I'm going to stop? No, I'm not at all for you guys what T.I. allegedly did or did not do. But him and Tiny, they got to go through the investigation, and where there's some smoke, maybe some fire. There are different women coming out. I'm not at all going to negate their claims. I don't know. I'm not in their bedroom, but I'm not gonna stop listening to T.I. for nobody. I love T.I. as an artist. He is very very good artist, very good rapper.
Just about to say that. It seems like it's always people of color. We just get tricked. Yeah, you fall for the okie doke.
And y'all know I'm not here for Miss Monique Samuels, but she is preaching a word. She is so right with what she's saying.
Because there is so much scandal that comes out on some of the more Caucasian shows. Yeah. And you don't see those shows getting canceled. They still play on.
What about Charlie Sheen? Ain't he the one that got the HIV and was spreading it to other women? And, they ain't really stopped his bag like that. They, had him out there. What y'all think about this situation with Sharon Osbourne? They talking about she may be a racist, but I don't know if Sharon gonna lose her job. I don't know. A lot of them white people, they pull a lot of funny shit, and they get away with it. They may get canceled for a few days or a few weeks, but shit, they still, have opportunities thrown their way. Let's call a spade a spade.
Them reruns, they're still on air. Yep. It's less and less of us on air because of one incident involving one person, or however many incidents involving
Sharon Osbourne. I was like, how y'all gonna take the whole show off because of her? Put her ass on hiatus.
Exactly. I was wondering, why the hell is the whole talk show, The Talk? How is that on hiatus and she not on hiatus? Now y'all know damn well if that was somebody black, their ass would be canceled and they would go on and do the show. But with Sharon shit, they just shut down The Talk, period, for a few days. And see, it's just a few days. We still, don't know, what's going to come of that particular situation.
That don't make no damn sense. Yeah, that don't make no sense. You have to go. Continue with the show.
I feel like people are able to separate the person from the art or whatever it is when it's convenient for them. Yeah. Me personally, like Bondi, if an R. Kelly song comes on, I'm more so vibing to the lyrics, not because I think he's an amazing individual, but he's a musical genius in my head. And I just like how Funky was bringing up the Cosby Show. I know there's people who are like, well, I'm not watching it no more because I can only see what I've heard about him whenever I see him on my screen.
And you know what's so funny? Some of these same people that be like, I'm not going to watch the Cosby Show. I'm not going to listen to R. Kelly. I'm not going to watch Basketball Wives. But like I said, you will catch them talking about, these people and that they are so against, right? See, that's how it's fake outrage, because if you was really outraged by it, you would just completely stay away from it or don't even make certain comments. I tried to really, walk that line of not saying, I'm not going to review this or I'm not going to ever listen to this. I can't say stuff like that. I can not like you, have an opinion. There are certain content creators. I don't agree with everything they say, but I'm not going to just cancel the person because, and like with Funky Dineva, I don't agree with everything he say, but I do find him to be entertaining. I do find his content to be thought provoking. I do find him to be intelligent. He can be ignorant as well. Like Bondi Blue, I don't really even listen to her, but I can tell she is an intelligent woman. And, she really is making big things happen, for herself and, her husband. And, she is very inspiring, to see a black woman, doing positive things. DJ Richie, I'm not the biggest fan of him, but he's hardworking. He's consistent. He seems very kind of professional, and he will tell you who he is and what he stands for. Is that my cross to bear? No, that's not like, y'all know I don't give a damn, say it how it is and, this, that, and the third. But I respect that, okay? I respect him as a businessman. You got to give people they respect, whether you like them or, disagree with them or not. So.
And I just feel like, people have to learn how to separate the person from the action.
Yeah.
You know,
very
not
true.
approving what he did, obviously, but when you think of the Cosby Show, you think of a good time, and you want to think of that nice memory, but people, I just feel like they do it when it's convenient for them.
Right, and what the heck is going on with Dr. Seuss? I'm like, wait, what happened?
Some of the books were...
Preemptively, they went and just pulled 6 books that had some racial overtones or figures that could be viewed as racist. You gotta also understand those books were written in the 50s. And so things that were...
So they already have a certain tone to them because of the time, you know, that they were in.
Acceptable then are not acceptable now. Nobody called for them to be canceled. They just preemptively did it, then announced to the world that they did it, and catch these teas. They sales skyrocketed.
I bet.
From all the press that they got for announcing that they did that, their scales on Amazon skyrocketed.
I'm gonna go ahead, you guys, and end the video right there. Child, this whole time changes. This whole, we an hour ahead now. Child, I've been kind of struggling with it. Have y'all been struggling with it? But y'all get down in the comments, you know, and let Miss Robinson know what you felt about this episode of the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.